The HOA board called my flood wall a joke. Minutes later, they were panicking as water rushed through their doors. Here's how it all went down. My neighborhood is beautiful, nestled near a river that usually looks serene. But I'd lived there long enough to know its moods. When I submitted my plans to the Homeowners Association, I expected some questions, maybe a few bureaucratic hoops to jump through. A flood wall? He chuckled, looking around the room for support. Frank, are you building an ark next? His cronies on the board all smirked. One of them, Karen, chimed in with her usual condescending tone. I tried to reason with them. They weren't having it. The river has never flooded this neighborhood, Bob declared, as if his saying so made it a fact. That was the final straw. I told them, calmly but firmly, fine, reject it. But I'm building it anyway. The look on Bob's face was priceless. They were so used to people just rolling over. For the next 2 months, my property was a construction zone. But that didn't stop the whispers and stares. Neighbors would walk by, shaking their heads. The HOA fined me for every conceivable violation they could invent. Then, the storm warnings started. The HOA sent out a cheerful email. A little rain won't hurt. Just remember to bring in your patio furniture. The condescension was infuriating. The rain started on a Friday afternoon. It was gentle at first, but by evening it was a torrential downpour. Around 2 a.m., my phone started buzzing with flood alerts. I went to my upstairs window and looked out. The streetlights cast a horrifying glow on what was no longer a street. My wall was doing its job. I watched, mesmerized and terrified, as the water level crept higher and higher. It reached the top of my neighbor's front steps. That's when the panic started. My phone rang. It was Bob. I almost didn't answer, but my curiosity got the better of me. "Frank," he yelled, his voice cracking with desperation. "Frank, you have to help us. There's water in my house." I looked out the window toward his house. "I don't know. Your wall." The sheer audacity was stunning. "I don't know, Bob," I said, letting the silence hang in the air. There was a sputtering on the other end of the line. "My house is dry, Bob. My floors are fine. Funny how that works, isn't it? Tell him we're sorry," she shrieked, loud enough for me to hear clearly. I stood there for a moment, looking at the dark, churning water that surrounded my home. Letting my anger go, I sighed. I hung up, grabbed a high-powered flashlight, and went to the gate. I opened the gate just enough for them to file in, one by one. I just nodded and led them inside. The floodwaters receded a few days later, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The HOA was effectively dissolved in the aftermath, as its members were too busy dealing with their own ruined homes to worry about lawn standards. I never gloated. I never said, "I told you so," even though I thought it 1,000 times. Thanks for watching. If you have a story about standing your ground, I'd love to read it in the comments.